As spring graces our homes with its soft light and gentle breeze, there's a renewed desire to create spaces that feel both rooted in tradition and brimming with freshness. This season, we invite you to explore a light and airy farmhouse interior theme, infused with the soulful character of handmade, imperfect beauty. Blending classic farmhouse warmth with the free-spirited elegance of handcrafted decor, this approach invites serenity, personality, and an unfiltered connection to nature. In American home culture, the farmhouse style has long represented comfort, practicality, and warmth. This spring, we're elevating that nostalgia with a touch of simplicity and softness, favoring airy palettes, sun-soaked spaces, and subtle handmade elements that ground the room without overwhelming it. Think washed wood floors, muted pastel linens, and walls kissed by early morning light. The color story of this look whispers rather than shouts. Whitewashed furniture, cream-colored textiles, and natural wood tones set the stage for a space that breathes. The goal isn't perfection, it's a lived-in lightness, where scratches in wood and uneven brushstrokes become part of the charm. These tones allow the room to reflect more light, encouraging an airy openness. This theme welcomes the Japanese-inspired concept of wabi-sabi, the art of embracing imperfection and impermanence. Incorporating handmade ceramics with uneven rims, textiles with visible hand-stitched lines, and artwork that feels raw and soulful elevates the farmhouse look into something deeply personal. Every flaw is a fingerprint of authenticity. A chipped ceramic jug, hand-thrown by a local artisan, filled with wildflowers picked from a backyard garden. It's these kinds of touches that anchor this look. Rather than manicured florals, embrace the asymmetry of nature. Long stems, curling leaves, and unruly blooms embody the spirit of spring. This style leans into negative space. It isn't about filling every surface but allowing moments of quiet within a room. Open shelves with only a few handmade bowls, a vintage pitcher, or a linen napkin draped casually speak louder than clutter. The space breathes, and so do we. When sunlight filters through gauzy linen drapes, it brings a softness that's hard to recreate. In this farmhouse spring vision, your windows become portals to nature. Hang loosely woven curtains that flutter with each breeze, welcoming the outside world into your space with grace. Nothing says farmhouse quite like wood that tells a story. A reclaimed barnwood table or an old ladder used as a blanket rack adds layers of history. Imperfections like scratches, uneven finishes, or faded paint are not only accepted, they are cherished as design features. This spring, texture becomes your silent storyteller. Rough cotton throws, burlap runners, and handmade clay planters all contribute to a richly tactile environment. These elements create a harmony of materials that feel both humble and luxurious in their groundedness. Rather than perfectly aligned store-bought prints, consider creating a gallery wall of handmade or vintage finds. Sketches, embroidery hoops, wooden carvings, and even pressed flower frames contribute to an artful space. Let the wall evolve over time. It's about soul, not symmetry. In the kitchen, open shelving showcases worn wooden cutting boards, mismatched bowls, and glazed pottery mugs. Jars of dried herbs and hanging bunches of garlic or eucalyptus make the kitchen feel alive and functional. It's not about hiding the mess, it's about elevating the everyday. Rescue an old bench, paint a found chair in white milk paint, or use an antique dresser as a vanity. This light and airy farmhouse look encourages resourcefulness and creativity. The beauty lies not in newness but in how each piece carries a whisper of memory. Greenery breathes life into the farmhouse spring home. Rather than polished planters, choose imperfect handmade clay pots, woven baskets, or even upcycled tins. Spider plants, trailing ivy, and fiddle leaf figs all thrive in the calm light of this aesthetic. Avoid harsh overhead lights. Instead, use soft, warm-toned bulbs and table lamps made of reclaimed wood or stone. Woven pendant lights and candlelit lanterns offer a glow that's more about ambience than utility. It's cozy, dreamy, and deeply inviting. A light and airy farmhouse spring dining table invites mismatched plates, frayed linen napkins, and wild greenery centerpieces. This is a place for shared meals and laughter, not rigid formality. Hand-thrown pottery and rough-edged wooden chargers add a tactile, grounding presence. In the bedroom, soft layers reign. Think faded quilts, washed linen sheets, and a handmade headboard crafted from reclaimed planks. A small bedside stool stacked with worn books and a glass of water in a hand-blown tumbler completes the restful, lived-in scene. Even the smallest spaces deserve thoughtful charm. Use hand-poured soaps, imperfect tiles, and small wooden shelves to create a spa-like escape. Add a cotton curtain instead of a shower door, and place a small ceramic bowl for jewelry or small treasures. Wraparound porches are quintessential to farmhouse living. A white swing with a faded cushion, terracotta pots overflowing with herbs, and a vintage watering can turn into a planter embody that light-hearted spring spirit. It's the perfect spot for coffee at sunrise. This aesthetic tells a story with every detail, one of simplicity, handmade integrity, and springtime renewal. It's less about perfect decor and more about creating spaces that feel. With every scuff, knot, or fray, we're reminded that beauty lives in the unfinished. spring invites us to let go of perfection and embrace what feels real. The light and airy farmhouse style, paired with the soul of handmade imperfect beauty, allows your home to reflect who you truly are: warm, evolving, and deeply human. Let your space bloom with light, texture, and meaning this season.